Hello everyone and welcome to week 2 of our second semester of programming with Visual Basic here. I hope you're ready. Hopefully the review stuff helped you all a little bit as far as clearing up any misconceptions and getting you a chance to ask some questions that you're wondering about. I will go through those posts and respond to everybody in there so that to clear up any last minute details. Okay, if there's any other questions you have, do send me a message, let me know. We are moving on to we're going to combine a little bit of new information with some information from the end of semester 2 where we can review a little bit. I think everybody could use a little more practice with the looping structures and some of the string class properties, so that's where this week's activities are going to take us. I did introduce classes a little bit, and mostly this is just text content trying to explain what classes are all about, so you can take a look at that. And see if that makes sense to you. Hopefully it gives you some idea. Right now I'm not asking you to do anything with classes other than use some classes that are have been pre-created for us, and we have been doing that. One thing about reading this, you're going to find we've been using classes all along in some situations, so it's just a little bit of a review and maybe another way to explain some of that. So take a look at that. I am asking you to use the random class in one of this week's assignments, so we're doing that. Down the road we may take some time and write a class of our own, so that's because that is another benefit of classes. I know one thing that people had talked about when it comes to this information is it's tough not having a book and having these things. Certainly, I would recommend in some instances when there's a lot of text to maybe print off some of these pages for yourself. If you find yourself as someone that would like to have a book, hopefully your school would support you printing this stuff off. It's not a lot of pages of content really, and one thing that would help you too is if you're using the Chrome web browser anyway, there's this plugin called Evernote Clearly. And what it does is it allows you to install a little plugin that puts this little kind of lamp looking like icon in your browser, and once you have that, let me show you this. I'll go back over to our page in the curriculum here. I'm just clicking that icon in the bar there, and it will change it to something like this that you can then print out. It'll take a lot less printing than it would otherwise just trying to print the web page, and maybe for some of you even just reading the page that would help you a little bit. So that's Evernote Clearly. It's a little plug-in that you might use to print out some of the pages that you want to review the information on. Okay, so there's a little bit of an introduction to classes in there. Take a look at that. I did add some more string class methods as well. We had talked about some in previous weeks, but I've added some more in there for you to take a look at that you can utilize. And now there are two different programming assignments this week. One called Humane Society, where you're just basically making a little program here that allows the user to see what the Humane Society has available and see if they want one of those animals. You'll be working with some loops and random classes in here. Now, one thing that other people mentioned is sometimes they felt like they were trying a lot to just try to figure out what I was asking them to do. You know, there's all this text that says, hey, make this program that does this, but it maybe was a little unclear sometimes. So what I'm trying to do this semester is make a little short demo video that shows you what the program should be able to do. So hopefully that helps a little bit and you like it. One thing I would remind you of is there's kind of two versions of programs that you'll get graded on. A 10-point assignment is just one that I'm grading for completion. You're just creating a program that can do these things, and I'm not really looking for all the picky things that are in the rubric, like all the naming conventions. You don't have to add your own creative thing unless you want to. It's not required. So it's just a 10-point assignment that I want to see if you can make a program that does this. And yes, you should practice by doing the correct naming and all that stuff, but you're not being judged on that as long as the program works. There's a second program called a little word guess game. People said they really liked some of the games we built last semester, and this is also one. This is only a 10-point assignment this week because we're just starting out, and I made a video to show you what it needs to do this week, and we're just starting out, so it's just a 10-point assignment. To get it to the point that's shown here, you'll have to use some looping things and some string class properties and methods as well. But it's just a 10-point assignment to get it started. Down the road, we'll add to it, and eventually it'll be a 20-point assignment where you're having to add some of your own creative ideas to it and all the menu items and all that kind of stuff. So for this week, it's just two 10-point assignment things. So you just build them, get them working how they are supposed to. Hopefully those little videos will help you to understand what I'm asking you to do. And then, of course, at the end of the week, I would like you to do a journal entry recapping the week. Now, I did change what's written in here. I think this said summarize what you accomplished that week before. I really want these journal entries to shift a little bit and focus on what programming concepts did you work with and what did you understand or not understand about those programming concepts. Certainly, you're welcome to write to me about other things. I'm interested in hearing other things you're doing, but I think what was happening first semester is a lot of people were just writing, yeah, I made the Humane Society program this week. I made the word guess game this week. I read the introduction to classes thing, and that's not really, I know that you did that, that's what I assigned you to do, so it's more of a reflection about the programming concepts you worked with and maybe some questions or reflection on that. That's more what I want to see there. And here again, the rubric for how I'm grading the form writing is in here. There's also the rubric for programs that's in here under the grading information. You don't have to worry about the program rubric though this week. That's only for the 20-point programs that would complete. And this week, both your programs are just 10-point completion assignments. So if you have any questions, let me know. But there's what we got going on this week. It's a number of things, so you'll have to get on top of things and get going to get everything accomplished for the week. If you have questions, send me a message.